Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Thinking Outside the Box from CrossFit Belfast. I'm Timmy McGinn, your in-house physio here. Obviously with everybody in isolation, and we're not getting into the gym as regularly as we can. We're not maybe using the same equipment, and we're not maybe doing the same movements that we would have been used to doing for so long within the CrossFit setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide some mobility videos looking at different joints of the body, so that we're able to do these exercises at home to remain subtle and to keep moving, so that whenever we eventually do get back into the gym, it won't be like we've been hit by a bus whenever we go to overhead squat or we're not able to keep on the rig. Okay, so the first joint that we're going to be looking at today is the thoracic spine. Our thoracic spine is generally important for those overhead movements. To maintain that nice overhead position, we need a degree of extension in our thoracic spine, and also for our front squat. Whenever we get down into the bottom of the front squat, to be able to comfortably hold that bar up, we need to gain a degree of thoracic extension in order to achieve that position. Okay, whenever we're sitting at home, sitting at the table, sitting on the sofa, which we're doing a lot of recently because of the current situation, then that means that potentially we're in a more rounded position. So we're sitting at our laptops, our hands are forward, and we're rounding at the thoracic spine. Okay, what we want to do is to try and counteract that, is do some exercises to get ourselves a bit more upright. Okay, so I'm going to take you through 4 exercises that you can do before or after a workout. You can do them on your rest days, and you can run it through as a little bit of a workout in itself, and that will basically help to keep you nice and subtle, nice and mobile. Okay, so the first exercise that I'm going to get us to do is a wall squat. Okay, so the wall squat is a very good exercise for helping us keep a nice upright position whenever we're squatting down against the wall, so that we're not bending forward. Okay, so if we go over to the wall here, what we'll do is we'll find ourselves a nice squat stance. So what we can do is we'll start a bit further away from the wall and gradually move closer, the more comfortable that we get with the movement. Okay, so find a nice squat stance, hands up onto the wall. If it's a bit more uncomfortable being close, you can come a bit wider. Okay, for the demonstration I'm just going to have my hands just on the side of the pillar here. What we'll do is we'll squat down, keeping the hands on the wall and trying to keep a nice upright position. Okay, what we don't want to do is end up like this. Okay, by holding this nice upright position against the wall, you'll really feel the muscles of the mid-back working hard to maintain this position. Okay, come up out of it, and then if you're feeling comfortable with that, step in a little bit closer, come down into the squat and hold, keep it nice and upright. Hold at the bottom for about 5 seconds and come up out of it again. Okay, we can do that one up to 10 times. So the next exercise that I'm going to get us to do is a nice thoracic rotation, or thoracic extension, on the foam roller. Okay, there are some implements that we can use at home if we don't have a foam roller. Okay, if you've taken some equipment from the gym, the likes of a slam ball or a med ball, we can use that. Okay, if you have a football at home, you can use that also. So we'll demonstrate it with all 3. First of all, I'll demonstrate with the foam roller. So what we want to do is we want to get the foam roller onto the ground. Coming onto the ground ourselves, we'll place the foam roller in the middle of our back. We don't want it too close to our butt. We don't want it too high in the shoulders. Okay, just into our mid back. Lifting our hands up overhead, what we'll do is we'll slowly drop back, feeling that stretch right in the middle of our back. Okay, what we can also do is do it with a ball, using the slam ball here. Again, keeping our butt on the ground, placing the ball mid back, hands up in the air, reaching right back as far as we can, feeling that stretch right in the middle of the back. Okay, coming up again. I'll just demo with the med ball as well. So med ball, just on mid back, butt on the ground, reaching right back as far as we can, okay? If we want to make this a bit more difficult for ourselves, we want to add a bit more range of motion, what we can do is we can take a dumbbell, kettlebell, plate, small plate, anything with weight at all, hold it up overhead, and then let the weight of the implement just bring us right back. Okay, and hold that end position again for a few seconds before coming up, okay? And again, that's a movement that we can repeat 15, 20 times. Really simple, really easy movement, and it gets us out of that hunched over position that we find ourselves so often in throughout the day, okay? The next movement that we're going to look at is a bit of thoracic rotation. These are generally movements that you've probably done within a warm-up here at one of your classes, okay? So what we're going to first do is get ourselves into a 4-point kneeling position. From this position here, what we want to do is get our butt right back onto our heels, okay? Why we do this is so that we take out any lumbar spine rotation that might come into the movement, okay? So if we're here and we go to rotate up, what happens is we're getting a lot of movement from our lower back as well as the mid back, okay? So to really isolate the mid back, sit back onto our heels, hand up behind the head, and we're just going to rotate up, okay? Again, doing that up to 10 times each side. If you feel that you want to get a bit more rotation with that, what we can do is, again, sitting back onto the heels with a straight arm, reach up to the ceiling, okay, and hold at the top. As you can see, I'm getting a bit more rotation whenever I use the straight arm for this movement, okay? And again, you could do that up to 10 times each side, okay? The next exercise is another rotational one. This time we're working through, call this one through the keyhole for obvious reasons. So what we're going to do, get into that 4-point kneeling position, come back slightly again onto the heels, take one hand off the ground and thread it through, okay, holding that end range, trying to reach a little bit further if we can, and coming back in, okay? We'll swap over, we'll do the other side, thread it through, hold the end range, and try get a little bit further, and coming back in. Again, we can do that one up to 10 times each side, okay? So the idea is 4 exercises. We'll do them for 10, 15 reps, okay? You could do 2, 3 sets. And this can work as like a mini mobility workout to keep you nice and supple, nice and limber through this period of isolation. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for more mobility videos coming up on Thinking Outside the Box CrossFit Belfast.